Don't you hold the Detroit Lions' performance last night in the Hall of Fame game against them, okay? It's the preseason, and the Lions still have the best odds to win the NFC North, as you see here, at plus 155. But at what stage next season could all these teams really on your screen in the NFC North be eliminated, or do they actually have a shot to go all the way? Let's go ahead and find out as we welcome in Emery Hunt and Damian Harris for more. Guys, great to see you. The Lions are certainly expected to be a contender, but let's go ahead and show you a look at their elimination odds right now. Odds makers are currently betting on the Lions to miss the playoffs at plus 145. Emery, let's go ahead and start with you. From a betting perspective, where you feel you're seeing the most value here on the Lions?
Definitely missing the playoffs. I mean, it was a bad omen. Day one, game one, play one, they fumbled the football. Like I can't fathom how bad that looks. They probably still running gases right now based on how they played last night in that ball game. But I would say miss the playoffs because you have a lot of moving pieces with the coordinators. Offensive line is, reshuffling a little bit. Defensively is where you have some concern, especially on the defensive interior. They're already banged up right now in that regard. So I would say they're more than likely to miss the playoffs. Even though it's short odds, I will take those odds because everyone else around them in this division got better.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting because Damian is actually hoping to cash in that plus 440 that you saw on your screen for the Lions to lose in the divisional round. Tell us more, Damian.
Yeah, I think that they can definitely make it at least to the divisional round. Like, listen, Emery made a good point. All the teams in the NFC, they got better, but I think the Detroit Lions have gotten better as well. You look at them getting Aiden Hutchinson back, who potentially could have been Defensive Player of the Year last season. And then you look at a guy like Jamison Williams, who's looking to become a true wide receiver 1B, if you will, to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then I just think that Dan Campbell has laid out the foundation for this team. They got a taste of it last year. That was a magical season for the Detroit Lions, but I don't think they're satisfied with just getting to 15 wins and then losing in the wild card last year. I think they take it a step further. I'm not expecting them to go super deep into the playoffs, but I think that they at least get over the wild card hump, make it to the divisional round, and then we'll see what happens.
It's a fair point. Let's get to the Packers now, and here's a look at their elimination odds. Right now, odds makers betting that the Packers will miss the playoffs, as you see there at minus 115, but a lot of confidence from both Damian and Emery, though, on the Packers to lose in the wild card round, which odds makers have at plus 340 right now. Emery, tell me why.
They have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in Jordan Love, so that's going to give them a puncher's chance. And defensively, I like where Green Bay is headed. They've built this defense up at all three levels. Yes, the cornerback position is a little bit of a question mark. They traded away Jair Alexander, but at the end of the day, when you look at their offense, they'll be able to run the football. The offensive line is better. We know what you're going to get from Josh Jacobs, and what we're seeing from camp out of Matthew Golden gives them a good option at receiver. As long as they can stay healthy within that group, they'll be fine. So there's a lot to like about Green Bay. They're battle tested, and if Jordan Love can play like we saw him play at parts of last season, but definitely in 2023, this team definitely can get to the playoffs, but I just have them losing in that wild card round.
Yeah, to piggyback off Emery, I think you look at three positions. The defense, I think they have a pretty set defense, but I look at quarterback play, which we all know what Jordan Love can be. We know why he signed that big extension, why Green Bay gave him all that money. We also know why they went out and got Josh Jacobs, because he is one of the best running backs in the league. So you have a balanced offense that can run, can pass, and play defense. Then you go out and you get your first round pick at the wide receiver position since 2002. And not only that, Matthew Golden has been delivering from what we've heard throughout training camp. So I think this offense makes a big leap this year. I think Matt LaFleur, this offensive coaching staff, I think they find a way to get these guys in the right position, unlock all of that talent, and then I think they can make the playoffs this year.
Let's go ahead and stay on the same page here and get to the Vikings. Achieved a 14-3 record last season, making them the first 14-win wild card team in NFL history, looking to, of course, build upon that. However, Emery, you don't feel like that will be the case, taking this minus 120 on Minnesota to miss the playoffs. Explain yourself.
Well, I think they overachieved last year, Jordan, because when you think about getting 14 wins out of Sam Darnold, now you're looking at this young guy coming in and say, hey, you better win 14 games, right? It's unrealistic expectations. But if you kind of look at how it's built, they have two excellent wide receivers in Addison and Jefferson, a really good tight end in Hawkinson. They have a good back in Aaron Jones. The offensive line should be healthy and improved. They added some added some in free agency. And on the defensive side of the football, I mean, when you think about what Brian Flores is able to bring to the table, they can rush the passer. Harrison Smith doesn't get old. He's still back there playing high-level football. And Metellus is also another improving player that they re-signed or extended. You like the chances of them making the postseason, but there's still so much unknown for J.J. McCarthy. I do like how his situation sets up like it was at Michigan, where, hey, man, just play your 111th and we should be fine. But even if they win 9 games, I think because the NFC as a whole got better, this division got better, there's still
what happened with Sam Darnold and that coaching staff. I think that was a truly magical year. And to Emery's point, to expect that from a young J.J. McCarthy, who he sat out all of last season with an injury, and now he's trying to get up to speed and reach that expectation that they now have of winning 14 games. I mean, that's just a lot to put on a young quarterback's plate with a lot of moving parts and a lot of things. Now, Emery made a lot of good points. They brought in Brian Flores. He's doing a great job with the defense. Like, they have pieces. Don't get me wrong. They have the components to be a good team, but to be a playoff team, again, throwing a young quarterback in there who doesn't have very much game experience, doesn't have very many reps, throwing him in there and having that same expectation to get back to 14 wins, I think they definitely fall short of that. And in a situation like that, if you fall short of 14, I think it's more of a you just missed the playoffs as a whole.
Yeah, combination of things. I'm on the same page with you guys as well. And I don't know if you saw that schedule, 5th toughest in the league entering this upcoming season. That's going to be brutal. Lastly here, let's get to the Bears. Odds makers are betting Chicago to miss the playoffs at -230. But Emery, you are taking them to lose in the divisional round at +850, as you see here. Are you seeing just nothing but dollar signs with this pick?
Listen, I've been all over Gayle King's internet telling everybody the Bears is going to win the division and go to the postseason. So why would I back down now, guys? I am hammering this number in terms of what losing in the division round at +850. I like what Chicago is doing, man. They have improved their offense. I thought last year we were talking about, oh, this is tailor-made, turnkey offense for Caleb Williams. Not this year. This offense with Ben Johnson and what they've done on the interior of that offensive line, guard center, guard play is where football is won. Don't listen to big tackle propaganda out there. It's about the interior offensive line. They got better on the defensive interior. They already have some good pass rushers. I like the receiving core, even though Luther Burden is out there with that Tom Waddle big number 87 jersey. He'll fit right in. They have 2 tight ends. They can run the football. There's a lot of good things about the Bears. Take them at +550 to win a division, and take them at +850 to lose in a divisional round, and then meet me at the cash ball, because that's where we're going to be with all this money.
I might see you there. Damien's not seeing you there because he differs here. No love for Caleb Williams and company and first-year head coach Ben Johnson to make the postseason for you, Damien. Why is that?
First of all, let me tell you 2 things. One, Emery is a motivational speaker if I ever heard one, because he just almost made me change my entire thought process.
You can.
Number two, I will never gamble with Emery Hunt a day in my life, because he's in way too big over his britches right here. Listen, you make a compelling case, Emery. I do think the Chicago Bears have gotten better, but the one area where I question if they've gotten better is Caleb Williams, because as we're seeing this new Ben Johnson offense being implemented into the Chicago system, there's reports, there's talk of, Caleb having to do more than he's had to do before in terms of processing information, digesting information at the line of scrimmage, getting guys in the right position. And it's almost like they're having to slow down the progression rate for Caleb Williams to develop in this system and understand the scheme. So again, you make a lot of good points. They got a lot of talented guys. They drafted well. They went out and got some guys in free agency that are really going to help them. A guy like Joe Tooney, who's won a couple Super Bowls for the Patriots, the Chiefs, somebody that can firm up the interior for Caleb Williams. But I'm not convinced yet that he's going to have it mentally this year to put them in a position to get to the playoffs.
All right, we'll wait and see if he proves you wrong. Emery, Damien will not be joining us in Vegas, but you can always count on
Skull Nation, I need y'all to stop what you're doing for a second. Because if what I'm hearing is true, the Vikings might actually be in talks to trade for Terry McLaurin. Yeah, you heard me right. Scary Terry. in purple and gold. And no, this isn't just fan fiction or off-season hype. There's real smoke here, and where there's smoke, you already know. Let's break it down. Things are getting tense in Washington. Reports just dropped that Terry McLaurin has officially requested a trade from the Commanders. He's frustrated with the direction of the franchise. And honestly, can you blame him? He's been their most consistent weapon for years. And he's still elite, but the Commanders are rebuilding again. And McLaurin's tired of waiting. He's under contract through 2025, so Washington doesn't have to move him. But when a guy like that wants out, you either pay him or trade him. And from what I'm hearing, they're listening to offers. And here's where it gets good, Skull fam. While everyone's talking about the Patriots being the front runners, I've heard the Vikings have quietly made calls. Sources close to the team are saying that Kwesi is at least exploring a trade and there's mutual interest. McLaurin wants to win now. He wants to play with a legit offense. And guess what? That's exactly what we've got. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, JJ McCarthy developing under center. This team is loaded with talent. We just need one more piece to put this offense over the top. Let's talk about what we'd be getting. Terry McLaurin in 2024. 82 catches, 1,096 yards, 13 touchdowns, Pro Bowl selection, second team All-Pro honors. And he did that with Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett throwing him the ball. McLaurin is one of the most underrated route runners in the league. He's tough, he's clutch, he's a leader in the locker room, and imagine what he could do in a Brian Flores plus Kevin O'Connell system. He wouldn't even be double teamed anymore. With JJ and Addison drawing coverage, McLaurin could eat in the slot or outside. Yeah, I know what some of y'all are thinking. But Victor, he's turning 30 this year. Why trade picks and pay big money for a receiver that age? Here's my answer. Because we're trying to win now. We're not in rebuild mode. We're in that perfect window where you've got a cheap rookie QB contract, a superstar WR, and cap flexibility. You use that moment to go get proven veterans who help you win. McLaurin's contract is reasonable, and if we restructure or extend, we can keep him in Minnesota for the next 3 to 4 years without blowing up the books. So what would it take? The Patriots were reportedly offering a second-round pick, Kendrick Bourne, and Jalen Polk. If the Vikings want to beat that offer, here's what I'd propose. A 2026 second-round pick, WR Jalen Naylor, and maybe even conditional incentives based on performance. It's not giving away the future. It's investing in the present. Skull Nation, I'm fired up, and I want to hear from you. Would you pull the trigger on a trade for Terry McLaurin? Would you give up a pick and a young receiver to form a trio of Jefferson, McLaurin, and Addison? Because to me, that's a Super Bowl level offense. You give JJ McCarthy that many weapons, and suddenly you're not just hoping for a wild card, you're gunning for the NFC Championship. So tell me in the comments, yes or no on Terry McLaurin. Would you rather keep developing our guys or go all in? If this trade goes down, Report Vikings will be the first to break it down for you. Every snap, every impact, every stat. So smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. This is Victor from Report Vikings, and if Terry McLaurin pulls up to Minneapolis, let's just say, Skull is gonna get real scary. Catch you next time.